Breaking news just in moments ago. A federal judge has found cause to hold Trump administration officials in contempt for ignoring an order on deportation flights. This comes after the administration deported dozens of alleged gang members after a judge ordered them not to. Let's bring in Scripps News legal affairs correspondent Abijoy Burnett, who joins me now live from our Washington bureau. Abijoy, what does this breaking news mean?
Yeah, well, this is information that is just now coming in, Liz. It has to do with Judge James Boasberg. This is a name that may sound very familiar to many people because he was previously overseeing that massive deportations case here in Washington, D.C. before a ruling from the U.S. Supreme Court said it was in the wrong jurisdiction. It was in the wrong court. So that matter was taken out of his hands. But there was still something that was still pending in front of his court. And this had to do with whether administration officials defied his order more than a month ago, where he said the plane should be turned around. Those planes that left on a Saturday, that they should be turned around, and then any additional planes should not take off. And he still had that matter in front of his court. He wanted to determine if there were administration officials who knew of the order that he sent out. First, it was an oral order, and then later in the afternoon, he had something that was written out on the docket via paperwork. And he wanted to know if there were administration officials who knew, even though he did not want for those planes to leave U.S. airspace or to be turned around and to return to the United States, if there were officials who defied that order and allowed the planes to continue on to El Salvador anyways, and then also allowed a third plane to take off from the United States. And so at this moment, he believes that there is probable cause to hold officials within the administration in contempt of court. He's now giving administration officials an opportunity to pretty much give their side as to why they believe they should not be held in contempt of court. This phrase, contempt of court, you may be wondering, what does this mean? And this is pretty much an opportunity for a judge to say you did not obey the rules, you did not follow the orders, so there's a possibility of fines for individual administration officials, or even in extreme cases, a possibility of time behind bars. So this is the new information that is just now coming out of this federal district court here in Washington, D.C. from this chief judge. His name is James Boasberg. This is someone who has received the ire from President Donald Trump. Donald Trump didn't like some of the rulings that he made specifically in this deportations case, and he thought that he should be impeached, so much to the point where the Chief Justice of the United States Supreme Court had to weigh in and say, no, no, no. If you disagree with the judicial system, the way to go about that is through the court process, and not to push for someone to be impeached, and not also to publicly speak out against these particular people. If you have an issue, you need to kind of fight it out in the court of law. So this is a new information that is just now coming in, Liz. It's not specifically saying that any particular individual will be held in contempt. He's just saying that there is enough information, there's enough evidence at this moment where he believes that someone could possibly be held in contempt, maybe not just even one person, maybe even more than one person. And he's now giving the administration an opportunity to make their case to counter that. The deadline, I believe, based on what I saw on that court filing, is April 23rd. That is when administration officials need to put forward some sort of filing to plead their case here.